Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 68.
What's going on? Jimmy Old School Flips here with Ken SSK Promo and Cory from Grams and Pops Vintage. Also, check out Talks with Grams and Pops, a great little TikTok channel.
The Villain Vintage he has on there today. What's up with that, Cory?
Getting some hate out there lately.
So hate from the YouTube community or just in general, like out in public?
No, it's the YouTube community. They're a little bit more brutal than the public.
Every good story needs a villain. Like, villains make the story. That's always been my opinion. So there's a spot for you, for sure.
I don't know. I think I might be just misunderstood. I'm not sure I fit the villain boot yet.
Yeah, why are you trying to take my role? I'm the villain. What's up with that?
Yeah, we had some comments this week in some other podcast shows out there that Cory may be a traitor, a Benedict Arnold, that he defected from other podcast. What are they, like Discords and Patreons and such? Look, and jumped over here.
They said a couple of things during the show. They said a traitor and a suck up.
I want to dispel a couple of rumors that I heard out there on a few different other podcasts and shows in the community and comments that Jimmy and I may have there was some collusion going on between us, that we may have done a work job, as they would say in wrestling, that we had stopped the show and just to come back and get kind of sympathy votes and, sympathy views and subscribers and stuff. And that's just not the case. It was Jimmy and I had a situation. The show was abruptly ended. And about a month went by. We decided to both move on and do something else. And it just so happens that we both reached out to, a superstar in the making, a rising star in the community from Grams and Pops, which we both contacted Teresa, and that didn't really work out. So we settled for Cory, and right. that is why Cory is here. So we resolved a few differences, and we decided, rather than go those separate ways, we would build on what we had started and see where we can go. So there was no forethought to that at all. Just that's the way that it worked out. But we're back, happy to be back, getting really good response, excited, super excited about everything, and appreciate all the new subscribers. The channel's been growing over the last couple of weeks already, and just really appreciate that. So I just wanted to throw that out there right in that, the first 5 minutes while people were actually still listening to the show. Yeah. So,
and it's funny because we both said we need a good villain. Like, we need a good villain.
Yes.
After Teresa said no. We're like, we need a good villain. What's the chances that everybody caught on to that really quick?
How was everybody's week?
We actually got to go picking with Inked Picker from Flippin' Fantastic Podcast this weekend. So we hit a Orange City citywide, and we did pretty good over there.
Oh, really? She's on the road. I seen traveling when I saw their podcast with the Flippin' Fantastic Podcast. She was in a van, I think, in her camper van or something, traveling. And so they'll be at the Reseller Rally. Oh, that's right. It's Reseller Rally week.
That's why I was just going to say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how your week went because it's all about next week right now.
Yes. The Reseller Rally in Cincinnati coming up. I am just like, it's like Christmas. I'm just as excited as if it were the Christmas holiday season. And I can't wait. I get to see you guys, get to see a lot of other YouTubers.
I'm excited to see Ken, the photobomb master, at work. He's going to photobomb at least 20 to 30 pictures while he's there.
Hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Oh, hey.
What's happening? Oh, the boat ride. I got you.
That may or may not be a quick preview to the headshot photo, the special Reseller Rally. Wait, what is it? The Reseller Rally headshot photo that I'll be signing there for the throngs of fans that will be there just to see me. A whole bunch of people that will be there.
Is that like the Throng song? Throng.
Yeah, close.
I don't do words, but that's a fun one.
Now, are you guys bringing fishing poles
to fish off the boat? Oh no, they're provided. They're provided by the riverboat company. You just troll off the back. That may or may not be fact.
I'm bringing an inner two though, because I didn't buy tickets to the meetup, so I'm just gonna hook a rope to the back and just follow behind. I think someone did that last year, right?
We'll throw you out some like hors d'oeuvres off the back of the boat, whatever they have for dinner there. We'll pitch you out a salad or something to eat.
Salad? Get out of here with that salad talk.
I don't even know what the meal is. Last time I remember, I think it was pretty good though. It was a pretty good spread of food that we had for dinner. But
I believe my meal was whiskey sours was my meal.
Just the whole evening. Yeah, Jimmy had to get acclimated to the boat. You're not a big boat guy, are you, Jimmy?
No. I mean, I need a big boat to for myself, but no, I get seasick really easy. A funny story is when I went to San Francisco and I walked out on a pier. I got seasick, and Sonia had to walk me off the pier like a blind person. Like I had my hand on her shoulder, and I'm just walking off the pier with my eyes closed because she had to lead me off because it was gonna be a mess if I didn't get off that pier because a little girl got seasick out there, and she got literally sick. And then that hit me, and it was over. Like I was like, "We got to get off of this pier."
Why do I picture Sonia leading you off the pier, off the other end, like the one that's not back towards land? Like
if she should have done that. That would have been the smart thing. Yeah, this way, honey. Come on, let's go.
Hey, walk the plank. Cory, are you a boat guy? Are you excited about the riverboat cruise?
I am. I don't mind boats. The boats don't bother me at all. As long as there's fishing poles, I'm good.
Well, you might be. I may or may not have, stretched the truth a little bit about the boat company providing fishing poles. So,
well, they got a Walmart.
There's not a lot of fishing.
We could get rigged up.
It's funny because they're actually those fishing. The people that provide the fishing poles. It's the Clickbait fishing company. They have a very familiar logo.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, I need control of that button again.
What that logo is. I can't. It's not there anymore, and I don't have it. I don't know.
I need to be able to pop up Jimmy's original reseller fishing logo or whatever it was that he designed. No, but super excited.
Earlier episodes.
I am looking forward to the event, to just hooking up, meeting new resellers, meeting people that I met before. And just going to be a super good time. And, shout out to John, Cincinnati Picker, and Pete, Craigslist Hunter, and Kevin, Commonwealth Picker. Oh, speaking of Kevin, Commonwealth. Okay, so last week I talked about how we felt official now in the show because we had official. Our own P.O. box, or not really a P.O. box, but, and we put it down in the description.
Did we?
Or did we? And it's like, so all week I'm checking the P.O. box. So the other day I'm at the post office and I snap a picture of, the empty box and sent it to these guys. And it's like, Jimmy's like, oh, wait, did I forget to put that in the description? And so
pranked. I got you guys.
So it's been empty all week because I was looking for because I had got this. Look at this right here. This is a Commonwealth Picker, the hot rod sticker. Now, my good friend Kevin over there, Commonwealth Picker, sent this to me. Okay, let's just say it it may or may not, he may or may not have sent that because Jill bought it from one of his whatnot auctions. But we're just going to say that I have it. I like to think that Kevin sent it to me out of the kindness of his heart, but it might be Jill had something to do with that.
I mean, that's a interesting shirt to put on an enema figure as a hot rod. Like, does that mean warm it up before you warm it up before insertion? Is that what's talking about?
You're supposed to warm up this part right here, the hot rod, and that'll help get things moving. I'll tell you that in your store. Yeah. And in your colon. I don't even know where
insert
that's
sound effect here.
That's funny. So we were talking about our weeks there a little bit early. Cory, you had your first sale on Mercari.
On Mercari, yep.
This week.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we actually
cross-list to different platforms?
We didn't cross-list. We list the stuff that eBay takes off of eBay. Like the stuff eBay won't let us list. We had what the heck are they even called? They're the little sky dancer spinning ballerina dolls
that go into fireplaces and burn up the house. Yeah, those ones.
Yep. We listed those on eBay and they took them off right away. So we put them on Mercari, and that was our very first sale over there. They went pretty quick. I mean, within a day or two they went. So, and
do you know why they're not allowed on eBay? Is it because they go into fireplaces?
I think I think it was something like that.
Really?
Some safety issues.
I may be wrong, but I think it's something along those lines.
Yep.
Now, I was watching. I have a question because I don't sell on Mercari. I do pretty much just eBay. But I was watching Flippin' Fantastic podcast the other day, and they were talking about selling stuff on Mercari, but they get less for it than they would on eBay. Is that like a thing? I don't know.
I got $40 more for it than I would have on eBay because we only sell stuff eBay won't let me sell. So
he's got a great point.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that's true or not because we haven't had comparables on both platforms. I do know the way the sale happened was we got offers like you would on eBay.
Yeah.
But it's weird. We got like 6 emails and like 3 of them were hours after it had already been accepted and sold and they paid. We were still getting emails saying the offer was accepted. It was the whole transaction was strange, but they went through.
I was just going to say about 2 years ago, I sold some stuff on Mercari. I probably had 15 sales. And I probably had 50 items listed, and offers were, you don't necessarily get less, but you get a lot of low offers. So it's up to you if you want to get less type thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I got a ton of low offer. I mean, we get low offers on eBay, but man, the low offer messages on Mercari were regular. And for only having 50 listings, I mean, I was getting a lot of them.
Now, is there options on Mercari to accept offers or not take offers, like best offer, like on eBay?
I don't remember Cory had to answer that.
I don't think so. I think they can send you offers no matter what.
It's just a message. They send you a message.
Yeah. Okay. I think there is an auto accept for offers over there too. I think you can set that up now. I'll have to ask Grams. She's smarter than I am with this stuff, but I believe we set up an auto accept at a certain price point over there.
Well, I mean, Ken and I have to ask this question about Mercari because it was a big issue back in the day. Ken, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's the labels. Now, I've never sold on Mercari, but I heard everybody complain 4x6. It won't print a 4x6. You know, that's the standard label. Did they fix that?
Yeah, I never experienced it the other way, the broken way, I guess, because this was our very first time to sell anything. And they sent you an email with the label on it. You clicked on it and choose the 4x6 printer and hit print, and it printed perfect. So there's
when I stopped selling on Mercari for that reason alone. When my paper printer ran out of ink and I could not, and I had to run to Walmart and get some ink to print the Mercari labels the day I stopped, and I've never really put a lot of effort into going back. But man, I was like, and I tried watching video after Tim over the years had a video. Other people had videos on how to do it. and I use Windows. I don't have Apple or anything like that. I could not get it into that 4x6 format, and every time I got close, the label would turn blurry. And I tried so many different ways and steps and this and crop this and cut that, and I could never get it to fit that 4x6 and be legible. So if that's the right word, I don't do words, but yeah, it was a very and that's why I stopped.
Yeah, it was super. It couldn't have been easier. I mean, they sent you the label and you just hit print and chose your thermal printer. It went off perfectly.
That's encouraging.
That might make me consider trying it
I think the big thing for us now, the only big step left for them on our side, as far as will we grow that at all, is how they handle bulk labels. If we're doing the kind of orders we are on eBay, on Mercari, and they don't have a way to bulk label or print a order sheet or something, that would be an issue. But right now it's just here and there, whatever we can't sell on eBay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're a Mercari seller, hey, help us out down there in the hints, tips, and suggestions. Oh, sure, we could go Google it or we could look it up ourselves, but that's too much effort.
Sure.
So if you happen to know if they can do bulk label printing and stuff from Mercari for the orders, throw that down in the comments, and that might help us out. But okay,
Cory's supposed to answer that for us. We shouldn't have to Google. He's supposed to be our villain. He's supposed to be the Google of the show. He's the editor. Come on, Cory, you were supposed to know the answer to that.
You have high expectations. We've got to get those in line.
You see, you notice he said, I'll have to ask Teresa because she's the smart one. That's the reason that we reached out to her first.
Yep.
And
I will get her sitting off screen over here for the next show. So if we have questions,
she's just too high profile. She's too high profile for us, or to high maintenance. I don't know, Cory. You can tell.
She's a diva. Funny. She wanted more of a paycheck than I get.
Yes,
that's funny. It'll be no longer, hey Alexa. We'll just be like, hey Teresa, can you tell us my car?
That's how I use it.
No, actually, shout out to Teresa. She helped me out the other day when we were talking about some of the changes that they did for Ground Advantage shipping. Mm-hmm. And I had went in and started to set up shipping policies to help that, next time there's a change or whatever, to help facilitate that. And I noticed, I went in and made my policies and started listing them. Well, then eBay system made a new policy for every other type of shipping that I already had. And it's like, what a pain. Now, when I go to list something, I have to look through this great big long list. And so since Teresa had offered help on that, I was talking with Cory the other day, and Teresa was in the background, and she was throwing out, how to do that, how I could go in a bulk and change those labels over. There's still some effort to it. There's still a little bit of effort to it, but man, it was a whole lot easier than what I was going to have to do going through, each and but there's a place that you can see those listings, which ones are listed, then just go change, bulk edit them.
Yeah, where would you
the brains behind our operation for sure? I
know. So shout out
I'm
to
the face.
Teresa.
She's the brains.
Really though?
Well,
I mean,
I didn't say I was good at my job.
You guys are in trouble. Half of that business model is in trouble. I'm telling you right now.
Half of this business model is always in trouble.
But that got me to thinking. We were just chatting the other day, and it's like, oh, what sort of like a reseller topic might we talk about? And that kind of leads into that, the fact that Mercari has the 4x6 labels now that wasn't there when Jimmy was trying to do it, or the Ground Advantage, the changeover. Of course, if you watch in the YouTube community, every change that eBay makes or whatever is just like the absolute end of the world.
Doom and gloom.
Yes, things are going to fall apart. And sometimes I wonder, is that just for clicks, that they're putting that up there, and it's like, oh, or, are you getting good information? It depends on who you watch and
kind of I kind of picture us that stick with it and don't let it bother us, like in some kind of like end of the world movie, right? Where like there's something happening and everybody's running away. Like all these people are running away and leaving eBay, and we're just like these like superheroes just walking towards the danger, just like slow motion cinematic, like
big explosions in the background.
People are flying through the air, leaving, and we're just like walking, not running at all. We're just like this awesome stride towards it, like we're
the Mad Maxes of the
we're
reseller
the superheroes going towards eBay because we ain't scared.
That got us to talking about the differences and the changes in reselling and stuff between the three of us, things that we've seen, and it's the because you see a lot of negativity out there about, let's say, eBay, because pretty much the three of us are primarily eBay sellers. That's our main platform. Yep. And you see a lot of hate out there in some of the different videos, some of the different chats about people are always complaining about eBay. Now, I try not to, I don't bite the hand that feeds me. I mean, eBay gives me an opportunity to get my items in front of millions of eyes. And so, yeah, they have their fees and what they charge. And then, they bring in promoted listings and different stuff. And, it's just a money grab. And anytime they make a change in their system, people just go ballistic. So we were talking about people's perception of eBay based on how long they've been a reseller. And between us, there's Jimmy, you started when?
2019, I believe. 2019. I can't remember if it's 2018 or 2019. I think it's part-time 2018.
I think.
Part-time 2018, full-time in 2019.
And I started in 2020. Yeah, Jimmy's an OG now at this point, almost. in the world of selling.
You get a parking spot at eBay.
That's right, I do.
You've been there 5 years. James is a seller for 5 years.
Prestige worldwide.
And and I started selling in 2020. And Cory, you're relatively new.
Yeah, a year ago, the beginning of this month. So really new.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's your softball, Cory, right there. I pitched it up for you.
Cory, tell us about because what we want to know is, what is your experience as far as how much has eBay changed since you started? Like, is there been a lot of change? Has there been any doom and gloom changes that you've experienced since you started?
Yeah, there's been a couple of big changes since we started. And I guess that to us, we don't see them as, big dark periods or something to worry about too bad. I think one of the biggest changes has been two of the biggest changes have just been shipping changes since we started, where they're going to Ground Advantage. And then there was a shipping price hike about 6 months ago that everybody was on YouTube about. So there's been a couple of those. And for us, they've been no big deal. I mean, we just got here, that's to us, that's completely normal. And we've been in e-commerce for quite a while. So we've seen shipping hikes before, but they never bothered us then either, because we always pass shipping on. We've always done some form of calculated shipping or flat rate type shipping where we pass that shipping on to the customer. So they never really, none of that stuff has really ever phased us. And we haven't been here long enough to, I guess put it this way. We started here, we've had a really good experience, and we don't have any great times, during a boom of COVID or something like that to compare to. So our perception of eBay has been a very positive one.
Well, get your popcorn and soda, because Ken and I are going to tell you about the pre-COVID and COVID.
You were talking about the rate changes. Now, I want to throw this out. This is something that I seen on an Instagram post from Angie Resales. who is usually a good fountain of information out there anytime there's changes or just stuff going on. I seen a little story or whatever that the USPS is not changing. We're not getting that holiday surcharge this year on the rates. Every year since I've been a seller, when it gets up to like from October something to, January 1st, whenever there's the busy shipping season, the fourth quarter, basically, they add surcharges to their rates, which doesn't really affect somebody that's doing mostly all calculated shipping, because that rate's just figured in. But if you're a flat rate shipper, that can make a little bit of a difference. Sometimes the rates are 25 cents or something, 50 cents maybe max or something along those lines. So that might affect some of your back end profit on that. But but they're not doing that this year. And apparently, now, if I am wrong, go over to Angie Resell's page and
go give that
comment.
wealth of knowledge. That's that.
Yeah, and come.
It's all her fault.
But we were talking there about when I started in 2020. Now I started at in February of 2020, and in March of 2020, the whole country shut down due to COVID. And so there was a bit of a boom, and it's like, hey, this reselling is easy because you could sell absolutely anything and people were buying it because they weren't allowed to leave the house, at that time. And so we were talking, Cory, you had mentioned in our discussion, let's say something like a Nintendo Wii, so, Jimmy, when you first started selling, you could get a Nintendo Wii and you could sell it for what? 30, 40 bucks, maybe?
$45 was probably the top, was the ceiling. $45 was the ceiling. But yeah, $30 to $45 for a Nintendo Wii. If you throw in a controller in there and had all the wires, you could probably get 45.
Yeah. And then COVID time, boom, video games and video game systems just, I can see your fly, Cory. Cory has a fly in his office that's flying around, and now it wants some camera time. Next thing you know, we're going to be having to.
I went way off topic, but
we were talking about that last week. How Jimmy was like, Jimmy was all up. He was all animated, and he was up in the mic and excited. It's like, man, we have to get you a sneeze guard across, like over at the Subway. Maybe we could get an affiliate link over at whoever provides Subway with Subway. That would be great. They started sending us sandwiches.
The last person they used, things didn't go so well for him. So maybe
poor Jared.
Yeah. Maybe we don't go the Subway route.
Maybe we'll steer clear. Yeah. Oh, but I do.
They already have a lunch-focused podcast, though.
Oh, that's right. We'll skip over the food. However, a cold cut combo on a hot day is just, oh man, that's good. But anyway, okay.
Sorry.
Cory's fly. That's funny.
Fly over there. We don't want it landing in the cold cut combo dish at all. So we gotta get rid of that thing.
If you hear a loud smack, it's just me trying to kill him.
So we were talking about, like, say, Nintendo Wii. So when I got in 2020, and I was, if you were able to find some of that stuff, because the sourcing was very limited, you were getting what? 60, 70, 80 bucks?
I think the Wii got close. So the Nintendo Wii was probably the best one as far as value going up. I think you got getting close to $90 for a Wii at the peak.
Wow.
And that's because everybody, like you said, everybody's at home. What funner thing to do than order a Wii with a bunch of controllers and bowl at home, right? And play tennis at home, get Wii Sports. So I think if you bumbled like a Wii with some controllers and Wii Sports, you can make $90 out. And that's something. If it was a holdover from before COVID, all of a sudden it was selling quick.
Yes. Yeah, and you could list anything, video games. Now, video game market still is pretty strong, but
Right.
Cory, you're seeing now, you're out at the sales and you're picking up those, and we are back to post
Yeah, we're still 30, 40
levels.
Yeah, $30-$40 for a Wii is kind of, I mean, maybe 50 if you have a game bundle and some extra stuff with it, but which to us, I mean, that's what we've always got. From the first Wii we picked up, that's what we've got. So I think that's awesome because we're only paying $5 for a Wii.
Right.
Yeah.
That kind of goes into the whole doom and gloom thing and how it doesn't all, the perception of it might not be accurate for some people. For me, Wii's used to sell for $35 to $45.
Yeah.
Then they spiked to up to $90, and now they're back to where they were pre-COVID. So if you're like Ken and you started right in the middle of COVID and Wii's were selling for a lot of money, you might think, hey, reselling is down, reselling is going, it's in the tank, and this stuff, the value of stuff is way down. No, it's just back. Pokemon cards and sports cards are another great example. Those things spiked up like crazy during COVID. You can make people got rich selling sports cards during COVID. Not so much anymore. They're back down. It's not that this is dying. It's just leveling back out.
Back to normal.
Puzzles were another great example during COVID. Number one, if any stores were open, the shelves were empty of puzzles. I sold, again, when I started, it's like, man, this eBay thing is easy because anything that I listed, I just so happened to have a buddy that did puzzles all the time. And right at that point, he's like, because he started to get his puzzles back out, sequestered in the house the whole time. And he's like, hey, I have all of these. Are you interested in selling them? And you could list a puzzle for, $30-$40 and they were flying off the shelves. And,
missing 15 pieces.
Yeah. And it's, you just, it's a 1,000-piece puzzle and it has 782 pieces in it. And people were buying it. But now it's back to those levels. I've got puzzles that, previously, I always look when I'm out at the sales for sealed puzzles that have, interesting subject matter or are, very popular ones. But now, you're back down to that. You want, I had to go back in and check some of my listings, puzzles that I did have left over that were up in that, $30-$40 range at that time. They're back down to that, $15 to $20, depending on what it is, maybe a $25.
Those Nintendo Wiis that you still have are back down.
Well, okay. See, therein lies the problem. I went like this with my whole thing. I have a whole box of Wiis that I could have sold for, $60, $70, $80. And now they're back down to $30 or $40, which that's still profit in what I have in them.
Yep.
I just missed the wave. And that's, anything in my eBay business that might be, good or bad it's all self-inflicted. If you don't, the one thing, everybody says it, I can guarantee you any item that you pick up, anything, anywhere, will not sell if it's in a box, in a garage, or in a tub, or on a shelf, or, piled up in the living room. It's not going to sell if it's not listed. So, but yeah, that perception of, people doom and gloom, like you said, and eBay and the sales are down, and it's like, well, they're really not.
So, and this makes me want to ask Cory something, because perception-wise, again, Cory's not that high on video games. It's not his favorite thing to buy and flip. My question is, if you had come into reselling right in the middle of COVID and they did have almost double the value, would that change your perception on video games? Do you think I think you would be, right? You'd be more likely to buy them.
I think so.
Them, right?
I think I'd be way more likely to be one of the guys asking for video games all the time, for sure. I mean, you go where the money's at. We actually got caught up in something similar. The puzzles, like you were talking about, we bought a bunch of the wooden. It's like a good brand. It's the wooden puzzles.
Yeah.
And
Liberty
doing retail arbitrage from like Costco, and they were selling for like $60 a puzzle at one point during COVID, and everybody was talking about it. And now that COVID's gone and things are starting to normalize, we have like 3 totes full of those puzzles that we overpaid for that we're going to have to give away at break even, basically.
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, I think if we had
here.
come in different, we would have definitely been more apt to go after the video games.
Right. It's funny you say that. I mean, again, I knew a guy who he made a fortune selling hair clippers during COVID. He would go down to the Target and he would buy them at retail, and he would buy them all.
Yeah.
And I mean, he would put them on Amazon and they were gone. Like he didn't even have time to, like if he put them on Amazon while he's in the store, by the time he got home, he had 10 of them sold already type thing. So yeah. And that's what's not realistic. And if you got that perception, it wasn't realistic. That's not really how this works. You can't really do that forever. It was going to go away. It was going to level out.
I think you got to be really careful nowadays if you're just getting into this and you're doing what we did and watching YouTube. You got to start looking at the dates on those videos, because they're not necessarily giving bad information. They're just giving bad information for today.
Yes. I'm trying to ignore the fly, but that thing is just circling around Cory's head, man. Every 30 seconds, I just see this little.
Most of the time, I'm looking like at my camera straight forward, but Cory down below me, I just.
No, he's bugging me way worse than you.
Insert sound effect here.
That's funny. So yeah, that I guess kind of to finish on that, stuff like that Mercari label, the 4x6, that's a change. That's something that Jimmy had a sour perception of Mercari and has not gone back.
Yeah,
because of that. Nobody has really talked about that. There's was a resolution to the problem. Now I'm sure somebody out there has said that. But until Cory brought it up, there would have been no consideration, right, Jimmy, that you would have ever went back to Mercari, because
it was definitely not one of the higher ones on my list. Mercari, because of that, I would not have gone back to Mercari until they fix that. I'm not going out and buying stuff to print labels. I'm not doing it. I don't need to. When eBay's doing well enough, we would have looked into other options, like for some of our clothing, like Depop or Grailed, because that's kind of clothing I buy. And we're considering that still. But yeah, if Mercari fixes that, Sonia is going to do most of our cross-listing. She's going to look into it this winter. Right now, things are a little bit busy with the yard sales and stuff to really focus on that. But yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah.
We're going to turn that into our Vero marketplace. That's where all the eBay Veros are going. We're just going to start dumping them over there.
Well, and that's a good plan if they'll sell. And that was when I was watching Mo and Alicia. That's what they were talking about, is things that you can't sell on eBay or go over to Mercari. And so I don't know. That's interesting. Something to look into. I don't cross list. Well, hell, I don't even list. I need to list. I need to list on eBay. I've just kind of got in this cycle of not being consistent. Some of it's working on my office, and I'm kind of between. So this week I am getting some things completed out there. I've got almost a 98% functioning shipping area out there. Ooh. It's all ready to go. I've actually been doing my boxing, my packaging, and everything out there in the garage because all of my inventory is out there. But my label printer, which is right up there, is still connected to my main computer in the house. I have a secondary computer out there that I'll do my shipping from. And so I keep having to run back and forth, into the house to print stuff, or, I'll box and stuff. Yeah. But I have noticed that my shipping is, I'm a notoriously slow shipper. And as for packaging wise, not, I have 1 day handling time when it gets out there, but it's, what I have noticed is now at my new shipping station is I'm standing up. Where before I was usually doing all my shipping sitting right here. And okay.
You're saying shipping, right? Because we all do the other thing sitting down.
I ship. Yes, I ship. I ship standing up.
Okay, good.
That's got to be messy.
He's a notoriously slow ship.
Whoa,
Leave
Jimmy!
the phone out of the bathroom.
This is a family show here, Jimmy. We were talking the other day about Patreon. If we decided, to suck our viewers dry of, their money out of their wallet, and we went to a Patreon system, and we thought maybe we'd have the death pile picker Patreon level, where people would just sit in the background with us, and we would just, every other word would be mother.
Bleep, bleep. And that would have to be a very expensive tier. Like you're not going to get that kind of,
that kind of foul language
for cheap. Like it's not happening. That's great content. That's gold. You're not that Patreon tier is not going to be very affordable.
The death pile picker Patreon.
It's a thing.
Oh yeah, we were talking about some of that. And we have some pretty interesting ideas if we do pull the trigger on doing some, getting some show support, and it's would be fun and add value to folks. But
we could give them a sample of the death pile picker tier. I have some video of me getting mad at a driver.
Oh, that's right, Jimmy. On one of Jimmy's recent videos, Sonia, pedestrians have the right of way, right?
Yeah.
Well,
not in Ohio.
Unless they're jaywalking, of course. Not at an intersection. But
yeah, I mean, she's at fault, but I was there. It doesn't translate in the video well. This guy might have sped up when he saw her. He definitely didn't slow down at all. Most people, there's someone crossing the street. I'll let off the gas, and you heard the engine rev up almost like it was whoom, and when this car goes by, you can see it whoom. I bleeped out my language I had towards this gentleman, but if you want, I can play the little cut of it.
Yeah, yes. Do it.
All right, let me find it right here. I got the little cut. It's 18 seconds long, folks. So if you're listening, you'll hear the bleeps and stuff, and you'll hear the car go by. If you're watching, you'll see the whole
kids
thing
away.
happen. Here we go. He could have slowed down. He could have slowed down though, so I could beat. Listen, I wasn't happy. All right. It was closer than it looked. She had to run.
Jimmy threw out a few colorful expletives there at that guy going by. Yeah, she did end up having to take off like lightning.
It's kind of one of those things where I think a lot of people say, you can mess with me all you want, mess with, but when my family and stuff like that, then I have a problem. And it didn't take much for me to get upset, I guess.
And you too can see the meaner side of Jimmy for the Patreon tier called Death Pile Picker.
You can get rid of those bleeps, folks, for the low price.
Jimmy and all his colorful metaphors, if you will, that he throws out there.
So that scene did get deleted from the video on YouTube, though it did.
What were we talking about before?
I don't remember. That's what's great.
Oh, that's right. Reselling. We don't need to talk about reselling. Let's talk about the Reseller Rally. We didn't talk enough about the Reseller Rally at the beginning.
We need to finish the show with the excitement, the pure, just anxious to get there and dance more than anything to dance.
Yeah. Jimmy was busting moves. What were you doing? Like the Macarena or the electric slide or something?
The Cupid Shuffle.
Cupid Shuffle. That's right.
To the left, to the left, to the right. Nothing. Now,
Or you a dancer?
Corey, no. Corey looks like a line dancer.
Surprisingly, no. Not a dancer.
Surprisingly, no.
That's
actually,
I look like I would be, but
So yeah, looking forward to seeing everybody at the rally. We may or may not. I'll check that PO box this week to see if our tickets arrived.
We're probably not going to get the paper tickets at this point. It's kind of late, but in the off chance that a ticket holder is listening, we will accept a charity ticket right up until the door of the event.
That's right.
Right.
We'll stand outside.
We are not too proud.
I got a fun idea of a pre Reseller Rally question, or not a question. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but we'll answer this afterwards on the post video, because I've always said this. Whenever there's a reseller meetup, every single time I've gone to one, there's somebody there that I didn't expect to be there, didn't know was going to be there, and I was super surprised to meet them and see them there. So we don't know who that's going to be, and I don't want to guess, and we're not doing that. But let's just bring that up right now. So then on the episode afterwards, we can talk about that person for each of us. Who was there that we didn't know was going to be there, and we were so surprised to finally meet them and talk to them and see them. An example would be Chris, Cajun reseller at the 127 meetup in Tennessee a year ago. Ken and I were both shocked and surprised that he was there.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's a good topic. See, because I can see all the other YouTube channels next week when it comes out. They're like, oh, man, Ken was there.
Yeah.
The DOG, SSKPromo.
Every
Mr.
last
Bill,
person that's there is going to say that, yes.
They'll have their signed headshot,
You look like.
Are we going to be trying to record a podcast from the rally? Is that what our plan is for next week? We're going to be there during the.
You never know.
Time.
Well, definitely going to check Instagram. We're going to be doing lives from there on not only the Reseller Clickbait Podcast Instagram, which thank you to everyone that has found the channel this week. We just kind of got that started this week, and getting a number of subs every day. I get a number of requests for subs. So thank you to everybody that's following that and follow along on that channel. If you're not going to the rally, not only will we be doing lives from there, but also from the Old School Flips channel, from the Grams of Pops Vintage, from my channel, SSK Promo. We'll all be doing, lots of, doing lives and doing stories and doing shorts and reels and Instagram, whatever is out there. Just have.
You can find those at the link tree down below.
Jimmy
actually, and the address you can mail us stuff. That's also linked. Linked, but that information is down there. I hope
the link tree is right above the address that is now in there.
Jimmy finally figured out that's supposed to be down there.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys. The three of us will be in the same location, which I'm sure is the buzz. Is the buzz of the whole event. It's like, man, the Reseller Clickbait Podcast guys are going to be there.
That's why you guys got to learn the Cupid Shuffle. We can all line up like Cupid Shuffle. Everybody be like, look at those guys. They knew what.
Ken will be signing autographs for all of us.
Go YouTube the Cupid Shuffle. You got to learn it before we get there, bud.
Cupid Shuffle. Got it.
So
I can learn the dance. I'll figure it out.
Oh, I don't doubt
I'm more of a
Macarena.
More of a, back in my DJ days, that was when that song was super hot. And, I
want to ask you guys are proud of me. I sat back most of the show. Now part of it is the fact that Cory sent me a seatbelt that you all can't see. So I'm strapped in right here. But are you guys proud of me for not leaning forward so much?
I think it worked out. I think it worked out well, because we decided we didn't need to reach out to Subway, or it wasn't our best idea, to get that sneeze guard for Jimmy. So I
honestly just thought you were disinterested in what was being said.
No, this was difficult for me, you guys. And maybe that's why I might not have been on my A game, because I didn't lean forward hardly at all.
Cory, I agree with that, Cory. I thought, Jimmy's just kind of sitting back. He's not as animated, this was a conscious decision.
And let us know down below. Should Jimmy be more animated and be moving around, or is this what you guys want? Jimmy sitting. It's nothing. It's not me like trying to prove a point or anything. I just needed to see if I could do it and see how it translates because the audio was bad. I was all over the place audio wise. So like,
hey guys,
I need to try this and see.
Sonya's
if I
always
can
bitching about the rain gutters. Oh, hey guys.
It's again, it's not me being stubborn like, oh, I'm going to show those guys how bad it is when I sit still. That's not the point at all. Because I heard the audio too. I knew exactly what they were saying. Like the audio was everywhere. So I have, as a podcaster, I have to learn how to sit still, and it's not easy.
If we need some movement, we can get you in post. We could just zoom in and out on your screen.
There you go. Well, no, we had that fly in your office. That was enough.
Yeah, that's
movement
plenty.
for one
That's
show.
plenty.
If I don't kill him, he's coming to the rally with me.
Yeah. So again, I just want to be clear. I'm not bored or disinterested. I'm focusing very heavily on sitting still, guys. It's awkward, right? It's weird.
Oh, see, and that might be one of our. We had talked the other day. That might be a Patreon tier where, somebody gets to sit in on.
Yeah, we are
aspects of the show
because we want to do the Patreon, folks, but we want to make sure there's some. We don't want to be like, oh, here's a link to the spreadsheet that we use. Like that's not what we want to do. We want to come up with fun ideas, so that way, if you do, it's not just us, the money grab that everybody talks about. We don't want to hear that noise and stuff. But we want to make sure it's something that's like, hey, that's fun for our listeners and our viewers. Like we want to offer fun stuff. We're going for more of the entertainment approach rather than the knowledge and here's a spreadsheet and here's how you pack this. We're going for fun stuff and entertainment.
Yes,
I'm allowed to curse in the back room. So when we're doing the pre-show, you get the real us.
Yeah.
Yes. And I've been, having installed, voyeur cams all over my whole entire house. And, one Patreon tier will be, you can just live 24 hours with Ken.
And just remember the toilet cam, he's a notoriously long shit.
Yeah.
Goes quicker if you sit, Ken. It goes quicker if you sit.
Okay.
Oh shoot.
All right. I think we're going to end on that. Hey, we'll see you at the rally and next time on the Reseller Clickbait Podcast.